Hi everyone, this is Wendy with Wendy's Paper Junk, and I was asked about how I sew my papers. Hopefully I don't have a setup really to show you good views, but I thought I'd give you guys some tips about sewing. Let me see here. When I normally sew an edge of a journal, let me see if I can show you guys what I do. I like to use a zigzag stitch because the zigzag stitch, let's see, the zigzag stitch goes over the raw edge, okay? So it kind of like gives it it wraps around, okay? So it like covers the raw edge. A straight stitch, just so straight down. It doesn't cover that raw edge. So that's what I normally use, is a zigzag stitch. I just like it. I like the look of it, and I like that it wraps around the edge of your paper. Okay, so here are my tips for sewing with a sewing machine, okay? And these are for ones that never done it. And for those that do sew, leave your own tips down below to help everybody out. First thing is, and you're not going to want to hear it, but read your manual. Your sewing machine manual should be your Bible, okay? It might not make any sense at first if you're new to it, but read through it. The majority of manuals have even test swatches where they walk you through doing different stitches out, so you can kind of get the hang of the way it feels. Also, if your machine doesn't come with a manual, go online, go to your the maker of your machine. They usually have all the manuals online. If not, you can contact them via email or phone, and they'll normally 90% of the time will email you a copy of your manual, or they will mail you one, okay? And if all else fails, you can YouTube it, or you can search on eBay, because they'll be selling sewing machine manuals on eBay, okay? After 20 years of sewing, I still reference my manual. I cannot stress that enough. You need to just tape it to the bottom of your machine and just keep it with it. All right. I preach this nonstop all the time. Do not sew through wet glue. Do not sew through wet glue. Okay, so what it does is it gums up your needle, okay, and it makes your needle tacky or sticky. And what it does is then it starts snagging your bottom thread, and it'll start getting tangled, and then it gets knotted, and then you have a huge mess. It won't sew straight, it'll start clunking, and it's not good. So always either okay, so what I will do is I will glue in the middle and stay away from the edges, and sew the edges. If I glue the whole thing, I let it dry good 8 hours, or sometimes a whole day, and then I sew the next day, okay? I cannot stress that enough. Don't sew through your glue. Wet glue at that. Tape as well. Tape. If you have to sew through tape, and I do sew through tape, you want to get an alcohol wipe and wipe off the residue off your needle, or change your needle. Another thing, change your needle often. Just like how your scissors get dull with paper, your needle is going to get dull as well, okay? So when it starts not sewing right, or it feels funny, change your needle. First of all, change your needle. Okay. Let's see. I don't know what tip it is now, but stitch length. Stitch length is how far apart your stitches go in. So like if you poke dots, depending how close they are together, how far apart they are, that's your stitch length, okay? And I was going to show you the difference between the stitch lengths here. Also, I want to tell you about pushing your paper through too. Give me just a minute, and I'll show you the difference and why stitch length has what the stitch length does on your paper. All right, this might show better with the zigzag. See how closer together those are? And then these are further apart, okay? Same thing with this, it's just harder to see because it is, I wonder if I can get it to focus. All right, well, anyway, this is closer and these are further apart, okay? Problem when you do it so close like this, it perforates the paper and it'll eventually tear, okay? When they're so close together like this, all right? That is called, you know, perforating your paper. So you know those tickets that have those holes and you can bend them and tear? That is basically stitching closer together like that, okay? Same thing with all your stitches. The closer they are, the more holes you put in your paper and it you could tear it easier. Further apart, you know, it doesn't tear your paper as much. Also, you have feed dogs. They're called feed dogs. In fact, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see anything, but they are these bottom grips at the very bottom of your machine. They look like, you know, they're gripping. So what they do is they grip your material and pull it through as you sew, okay? Now, paper is a slick surface, so it's not always going to pull your paper. So you're going to want to not shove it through, okay? But just kind of give it a nudge, you know, and help feed it through. Because sometimes your paper can sit there and just keep stitching on the same spot, okay? So you're going to want to give it a little nudge and kind of guide it, okay? But you don't want to apply force or anything. So that's another thing. When it sits in one spot, you'll get a mess and sometimes it'll knot up on itself. So you need to learn to just kind of guide it and nudge it through, because it's a slick surface and those grabbers, the feed dogs, aren't, you know, digging into your paper like they would fabric. And, you know, they grasp the fabric and pull it through. Okay, so that is the other thing. Another thing, and you'll learn this when you read your manual. And if for some reason that's not helping, you know, there should be online classes. If not, go to your local quilt shop. Ask them if they can show you how to use your machine. The craft stores, you know, normally they all might have classes. You know, ask your friends and family. There might be a sewer that you just didn't know that sews. So, let's see, what else? I use cotton thread. That's just the quilter in me. I like the cotton thread, but you can use blends. You can go to Walmart and get, the polyester and, you know, all that other stuff. I just use cotton because I do have some nylon blends as well. What else can I tell? Oh, I can tell you about your feet. Okay. These, let me see if I have my regular foot here. Nope. I never sew with my regular foot on. Well, hold on, maybe it's, I can't get it open because I can't open my machine when it's up here like this, but I wanted to show you. Oh, hold on, I just dropped my needle thread. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. Hold on. Let me tilt it so I can see what I did. I can't get my needle threader out. What's the deal? It fell down. Oh, there it goes. Sorry, folks. I have to get that out. Or let's see. There we go. Let's see. Oh, that's my 1/4 inch foot. Okay. Well, you guys will get the idea with this. Okay. I'm telling you what, I'm having a day here. Okay. Let me show you the difference between the foot. You'll have a normal foot that kind of looks like this. Mine is a little different, but see the hole where the needle goes through? It's just a hole. Whereas this one is open. See, there's a gap there. Okay, so normally your machine will come with this foot. Okay, you'll have this, you should have the open toe foot, but normally this will be on your machine. You cannot zigzag with this on your machine, okay, because your needle will go back and forth. It will hit your plate and you'll break your needle, and you don't want to do that because that's not fun. So when you zigzag, you need this open foot, because that's the room. See, that's the room. So your needle can go zigzag back and forth without hitting the metal plates. This is called an open toe foot, okay? I pretty much do everything on an open toe foot because I don't need the other foot unless I'm doing something fancy on quilting and whatnot. So, okay. Let's see if I can. All right, so when I zigzag, I have numbered buttons. Okay, I'll hit my zigzag, and I usually go to a 3.5 for this because it's only 2 layers. Okay, let's see if I can. I don't think I can show you guys. I'm just not set up to kind of like show you under there. Can you? No. Well, I'm sure there's better sewing videos out there on how to actually zigzag. You line it up to the edge of your foot and you sew. So, oh boy. That is my tips on sewing with your sewing machine. It's pretty simple and it's fun. And let me move this out of the way. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let me try to zoom back out here. There we go. Okay, so those are my tips. You want a longer stitch length. You don't want to sew through your wet glues. If you do tape, well, even in glue, wipe down your needle with alcohol or change out your needle. Anything else? I think that's pretty much it. And read your manual and, practice what the manual says. The manual is going to explain the settings, okay? And it's going to should give you little test samples to sew. So try it out. And go from there. It's really not hard. Once you get everything set on the setting that you need, you don't really need to touch it after that if all you're doing is sewing on paper. The only thing you're going to switch is really if you're going to zigzag or if you're going to do a straight stitch. Unless you want to try all the other fancy stitches, So, if you're looking for just that, I would go with a cheaper machine and just do that. But, as you get more comfortable, you might want to expand and get into sewing with fabrics and whatnot. So, I wanted to show you what I did so far. This is the first Dennis the Menace. And I'm all out of whack here with my camera. So this is the first Dennis the Menace. The strap is sewn on, and so you don't lose that. So that hangs there. I stitched around some of the fabric, I stitched around the whole thing. So, and then here is the front. I made a little expandable file pocket, and I stuck a notebook in here, and it's filled with, there is an inside pocket here, and it's filled with lined paper and some graph paper. So it's literally having a notebook, okay? So that's in there. And you could actually fit 2. There's enough space here to fit 2. There's 2 slots, see? All right. And then I haven't embellished yet. There's some tags I want to make and stuff. So, but I'll show you the pages I have in here. I put a couple book pages in, and I just went with colorful. There's pockets I went with colorful and just, you know, let the paper speak for itself. You know, I did yellow, orange, and blue, and some printed papers. I got some pockets fixed in here to embellish, and a couple fun book pages. So there's pockets. And then I sewed, and I have a double back pocket in the back. Is this not a fun? And you know what? There's a lot. I did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 15 is 30 pages, 30, so it's 60 pages front and back, 30 pages total, full out pages, 60 front and back, plus you get the notebook in front. So, you know, this is a fun little, you know, there's plenty there. So, I got to do this one next. I got to stitch this one, figure out how I want to do the inside for this one. They both have binder's tape down the seam, you know, down the spine, you know, the bookbinder's tape on both of them. So there shouldn't, you know, extra reinforcements. It's on that Durabag kind of tie-back bag. So they're like paperbacks, but sturdier a lot. You can't tear these. So those are my updates on my Dennis the Menace. Some tips on sewing with your sewing machine. Hopefully I didn't, you know, confuse y'all. Otherwise, you could just play around and see what works and what doesn't work with you with your sewing. And everybody else that knows how to sew, leave your advice down below. And I think that's it. So that's my update for right now. And like, subscribe, share. Let me know your thoughts. And I will talk to you soon. Happy Monday. Bye.